be yesterday. Was it tomorrow already? When it'll be the day after tomorrow.
As a staple of Miraculous Ladybug's story, the Kwamis can't be put into the box of cute magical creatures to get put away for no further examination. They are cosmic entities capable of destroying or altering any universe. Their powers are so strong that the Kwamis can't use them without becoming bound to a miraculous and used by a human host. If they did, they could trigger catastrophic events that may result in the end of their world and many others. That's why the mage created the Miraculouses 5,000 years ago. Unfortunately, centuries of this rule being in place doesn't prevent the Kwamis from using their powers without a wielder from time to time. There are occasions throughout history where Kwamis make a mistake and threaten the world, resulting in problems that other miraculous wielders must find ways to fix. There are a few examples of this happening in the series, but there's one Kwami whose power, if left unchecked, could destroy the fabric of time and space. Fluff, the Kwami of the Rabbit Miraculous, has the incredible ability to time travel. And in today's video, we're evaluating why she should never use her powers without a wielder.
Follow me! Right on time for yet another defeat, Monarch.
The best place to start is exploring how dangerous an unchecked Kwami can be. The most dangerous example of a Kwami using the powers is Plague. In Style Queen, Master Fu recounts some of his exploits throughout Earth's history, giving the Kwami credit for the dinosaurs' extinction, the sinking of Atlantis, and the leaning of the Tower of Pisa. Despite making many mistakes throughout history, Plague still believes he should use his cataclysm when necessary. The most recent example occurs in the episode Deflagration, when he destroys the Cat Miraculous to prevent Monarch from claiming his power. Other Kwamis use their powers throughout the series with less drastic effects. Kalki often uses her ability to teleport when the heroes are in a bind. In Soul Crusher, for example, she informs Adrian when Ladybug can't transform to stop a villain, making sure someone is available to protect Paris. The consequences of her powers result in portals opening where they shouldn't, moving the city's historical monuments to new locations. Tiki and Trix also use their powers without wielders, one to sate their stomach and the other to help Marinette out of a bind. Unfortunately, both Kwamis have consequences for their actions, but Tiki nearly crushing Paris with a giant galette is more severe. There is one Kwami whose powers resemble Fluff's, and we will use him as a springboard to discuss what her burrows could look like if they were let loose on the world without supervision. As the designated leader of the Kwamis, Sass must know that using his powers can have dire consequences on the timeline, and that he should only summon them in threatening states of emergency. The Snake Miraculous superpower, Second Chance, is a power made to handle the last resort and find something better.
Sass, hurry!
Second chance.
Second Chance allows Sass and his wielders to reverse timed or utilize time loops. For now, wielders of the Snake Miraculous can only use the power for 5 minutes, while Sass can change time to any moment he needs. An example of this occurs in Ephemeral. In the episode, Sass must use his Second Chance to prevent Shadow Moth from altering their world after stealing the Ladybug and Cat Noir Miraculouses. Sass manages to save the day while doing so, but the consequences are drastic on the timeline. Before Ladybug and Cat Noir's eyes, villains from their past appear alongside important figures like Joanne d'Arc, who wielded the Ladybug Miraculous. These people and creatures immediately start wreaking havoc on Paris, but the heroes manage to stop them by adjusting the time around the world. If Fluff ever used her powers to visit the past, present, or future, a similar phenomenon would likely occur, but it would be more difficult to fix. The Rabbit Miraculous already has a history of becoming damaged. In Time Tagger, Bunnix reveals that Cat Noir accidentally damages her Miraculous during a fight, which leaves her incapable of using her power. The titular villain was a time traveler, so to keep up with him, Bunnix finds her Miraculous in the past, undamaged and ready to use.
How do you explain Time Tagger then?
I told you earlier, if Cat Noir hadn't cataclysmed my Miraculous, Time Tagger wouldn't be here.
Thanks to Dusu, we know what it's like to become tethered to a broken Miraculous. According to her, in truth, a damaged Miraculous creates chaos in the mind. A similar situation like this would be the most likely scenario for Fluff to use her powers without a wielder. If her Miraculous were damaged, Fluff's mind would plunge into chaos, and she wouldn't know if she was making the correct decisions. The most likely consequence of Fluff using her powers is the burrows that would start opening all over Paris. Burrows are what Rabbit Miraculous wielders use to travel between time, and when inside it, a person can view thousands of historical moments at once. It would be tempting for anyone to go through one of these portals, as it allows them to explore new places, to have a second chance at a once-failed opportunity, or to prevent something from happening. That amount of power leaves something for everyone to desire. Anyone would use it if it didn't come with dire consequences. Even Gabriel tried using the Rabbit Miraculous to alter his fate. In the episode Evolution, he uses the Rabbit Miraculous to prevent Emily and Natalie from using a broken Miraculous. If Gabriel had succeeded, both women would have returned with a clean bill of health. And Master Fu could have kept the Ladybug and Cat Miraculouses. He would have altered the timeline significantly, so Bunnix appeared to ask her fellow heroes for help.
You will never take a Miraculous from me ever again! Time is running out for both of you now!
Due to its sheer amount of power alone, the Rabbit Miraculous should be desired more than the Ladybug and Cat Miraculous. With the ability to control time, summoning the Kwami of creation would become obsolete. There's no reason to bend reality to your whim when you can change any moment in history to achieve your goals. That type of one-sided bias would pop up all over Paris if Fluff used her powers, as Parisians would take the opportunity to view their pasts, friends, and families through the borough. Other people would go the extra mile to change the course of history, a task that any hero would need to stop at the first opportunity. Time Tagger provides insight into what happens when someone travels into the past. For example, Mr. Raymir, the local pigeon tamer, changes history by becoming a famous knight in the past, resulting in a statue of him appearing in the present, although he's scarcely listened to in modern Paris. His influence over pigeons earns him fortune and fame in older times, and his prominence means that history altered to fit him into the pre-established timeline. Bunnick states that tampering with time is challenging, and she's not wrong. Any slight change in the main timeline can create an alternate branch with disastrous consequences. Cat Blanc is a great example, as Marinette's decisions to leave her name on a gift for Adrian creates a butterfly effect that inevitably leads to the end of the world. If even heroes make these mistakes, then the people of Paris could slip up. And when traveling into the past or the future, they would need to be extra cautious about alternate timelines.
What happened here?
The less you know about the future, the better. Just do your thing. Capture the Akuma and restore order. Then the train will be back on track.
There's also potential that people from the past would enter through an open burrow. Traveling into the present, Paris could effortlessly become filled with dinosaurs, knights, or saber-toothed tigers. Fortunately, responsible heroes will always be around to protect the city, but it would take a lot of effort for Ladybug and Cat Noir to fix Fluff's mistake. Ladybug's lucky charms usually fix everything, but in this case, the heroes must do the hard work by hand. Ladybug and Cat Noir already have experience with the Rabbit Miraculous and could personally escort everyone to their appropriate timelines. It may take a lot of time and effort, but hypothetically, it could solve any problems caused by time travel and Fluff's unmanaged power.
Have I used it, or am I going to? It looks like the Miraculous of Time is unaffected by regular.
Anyone would love the opportunity to time travel, and that's why the Rabbit Miraculous must remain in specific hands. The wielder of this Miraculous can't have temptations to alter the course of history, no matter what bad things happen or who suffers in the process. As Bunix explains in Time Tagger, the flow of time is very delicate and can't be disturbed for any reason. She makes the perfect candidate for wielding the Rabbit Miraculous because she respects history and how it must run its course. With a power that is so fragile, Fluff likely knows not to summon her burrow unless faced with a dire situation. Doing so could have a worse impact than Plague's Cataclysm and even more difficult to fix. Fortunately, heroes like Ladybug exist, who would stop at nothing to ensure that Fluff never used her superpowers for the wrong reasons.
Wait a second. This is not the exact right moment.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
Over there, quick! He's trampled to your first battle against Lady Wi-Fi.
That's not how it happened.
But that's what will happen if we don't stop him.